Today I thought we'd take a look at one-shot samples. A lot of beat makers sample records and CDs and YouTube and all that kind of stuff, but you could also sample one note or a couple notes from a synthesizer or a keyboard or any melodic instrument and load the single sound into a sampler and have it spread across the keyboard. This isn't a new idea, this is an old idea, but a lot of people, load up preset. Like for instance, I used Reason for years and they have patches for the NNXT and refills and stuff, and you're loading patches which pretty much utilize the sampler, the NNXT. What I'm encouraging is supporting other creators and buying one-shots from either Splice or your whoever online, sound designers. I think Coop the Truth has a pack, MG the Future has a pack, CMP Kits has a pack. Splice is a good bet to get your feet wet. And the cool thing about that is you get one-of-a-kind instruments. There, I just loaded into a sample cell basically on Maschine, and there it is across the keyboard. When I press middle C, because it's tuned to C, it's in key. That's pretty loud, so I'd bring the gain down here, and depending on the instrument, you'd change your polyphony to whatever. If it was a bass or a lead, I would change the polyphony to 1. If you're wanting to play chords and melodies and stuff, I would say polyphony at least 8, maybe even 16. And right now when I hit a key, it rings out because it's in one-shot mode. But if I turn it to the ADSR mode, now this attack, decay, sustain, release is applied to the sample. So when I hit the key now, it's much shorter. That's controlled with the release knob. If I bring it up, it rings out again. So somewhere in the middle is nice. Booyah, your own custom instrument, but that's just the beginning. This is the simplest way to do it. Load up a sample on the key of C. There it is. Use your ADSR, make sure you got your polyphony where you want it. The sampler has a lot of control. There's some pitch stuff here. There's the ADSR. There's some compression, some dirt and drive, some sample rate reduction. Like let's bring the sample rate down. Now you have like some digital artifacts at the top end of the sample. Bring down the bits. Back to the voice settings. I have we're in standard engine. There's the MPC 60 engine, which changes the sound, and the SP 1200. That sounds crazy. And then there's multiple 1200 stuff, but we're gonna keep it standard. We've got some bit reduction, sample reduction, turn some drive up, compress it. Sounds crazy. I could continue to work with the sampler module, just playing with these things, but what I'm going to do is jump to adding some effects. And what I'm learning over these past few months is when you're in whatever program you're using, whatever sampler you're using, if you're creating a patch and you're adding effects to it, it makes sense to add stock effects of whatever you're using. So in my case, I'm going to use Maschine stock effects. So let's say instead I put a waves delay and isotope reverb and stuff. It's like without those on the system, your patch is back to bare. Basically, let's say you put out a pack for sale or something, or just shoot over the patches to a friend. If they don't have the same VSTs, they're going to lose their effects. So use stock effects when building sampler instruments in whatever software, whether that's Reason or Maschine or MPC or whatever. So I'm going to shush for a minute. So that sounds old school, not so pristine. you know, the first thought I'm having. There's delay and reverb. There's a reason why delay and reverb are pretty much on all the Romplers, just easy to go, ready to go, because those are common effects, space and time-based effects. So Machine's delay is kind of weird in how this says 4 out of 16, but I think what that means is it's a quarter note. And yeah, you turn up the repeats with the feedback. Apparently there's a color knob. That's cool, kind of filters out as they repeat. Anyways, the big one I'm going to do is just bring the mix down. Maybe I could make this a tighter sound. What's 1/16 sound like? That's interesting. It's almost like in a small room, reverberating, bouncing off the walls. Let's give it a toy box sound. And then, you know, then you put a little more space on there with some reverb. What do we got here? A little pre-delay. Turn that up. Let's see what we got with this. It's clearly I think I'm playing with the diffusion knob, but I think what I'm looking for is damping actually. Hard to say. That's extreme, so you'd bring the mix down. I'm going to bring down that reverb time. And that sounds like perfection to me in my headphones. Sky's the limit. I want to maybe soften that up with some tape. Go put on the internal saturator. The saturator has 3 modes: classic, tape, and tube. Put some tape, turn things not so extreme, and it's warmer. So with this, you know, I'd call that done for now. Right click this slot, save as, and you save it as a sound. You would want to put them where you want. There's a stock kind of folder for your custom sounds within the documents. I'm just going to call this like toy box or something. Boom. Now when I would want to load that sound, I go to library or user sounds, and how does this work? Maybe that's not how it's done. Maybe it's files. Derp. Okay, so to actually get to your custom sounds is actually a mystery to me, but you'll want to find out where they are and how to load them. I'm just teaching you how to make them and save them. It's very cool technology. It's got a good tone. You could do that with bass sounds, synth lead, any kind of keys, guitars, plucks, polyphonic pads, vocals, whatever. It's very versatile. Very versatile. I apologize for not knowing where my sounds are saved once I save them, but that's something we could figure out on our own. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.